Thank you to both of you, because it gave me an opportunity to connect with Kyoko in a very lovely way, and also with Judy. So I enjoyed it. The word detachment for me is, first step, the detachment of the soul from the body. And that detachment is then the possibility of coming to a state of mastery over the physical senses, but more mastery over the inner faculties of the soul. And it's the most difficult of all. You keep practicing it and it keeps slipping away, because the connection of soul and body is actually not just since the time I was born. It was prenatal. It was before I was born. And so, you've got a favorite cardigan and you carry it around with you everywhere. And if it gets lost, you really miss it. Well, how long have I been in this skin? It's been forever. And so, yes, to get detached from this and the identity of this and all the things that are associated with this, my name, my form, my position, my abilities, my culture, my religion, my race, my tradition. It's so many, 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 many things that I'm attached to because of my attachment to this. So that's why it's actually the most difficult of all. But the more I practice this, the easier it is for me to be able to be close to the divine and experience that love. I'll share with you the Hindi words again. I don't want this to be a Hindi lesson, but the words are very lovely. Nyara, pyara. You can see that they go together very well. And so the detachment is also the way to be able to have real love. And in this first step, yes, the detachment from my skin, coming to the awareness of the being which doesn't have a physical form, so that I can connect with the divine who also doesn't have a physical form. And so in that awareness to be able to take that love. And without this first step of detachment, I'll always be seeking love on this level and probably finding it hard and a struggle and disappointments and all sorts of things. But as soon as I experience this detachment, even for a few moments, it becomes possible to experience that love. And the more I practice this detachment, and it's not just detachment sitting in meditation, but it's detachment through speaking, moving, walking, talking, everything that I do. Because, say for example, when I'm talking, if it's with the ego of this, then the words come out very differently. And if it's in the awareness of this, there's a humility that can manifest. And so, yes, it's a practice to develop for me, and it's attention on being able to just check the consciousness. Is it here or is it here? And it does take effort. On the one hand, it's the easiest, just remember who I am, but it's also the most difficult because there's a lot of things I have to unlearn. And then the detachment from people is actually what was expressed beautifully in some of the things that were shared, where it's actually non-possessiveness, where otherwise possessiveness comes in such a big way, and of course control issues are rampant, but where I can be detached, then I can perhaps offer great love. And a greater love than I could, which otherwise becomes one of attachment and possessiveness and leads to many complications. So in terms of detachment, that's the thing. But also on the spiritual journey, where I'm recognizing what is negative within the self, can I experience a detachment from that so that I can have the perspective of being an observer and see what's going on, and then take the power to be able to change it and turn it around. Otherwise, it's me, we use the word sanskar, pattern of behavior. And so this sanskar of mine is mine. And even though it's not a good thing, I'm still holding on to it and I'm attached to it. But in that sense of detachment, yes, it's there, but I can let go. I can be detached from that, and I can take help to work on it and transform it. So it's not just detachment from human beings or even possessions, but detachment more from the stuff that I'm carrying inside myself. And yes, the detachment from things, it could change society completely. The whole aspect of materialism and consumerism is our attachment to all of these things, and the impact on the ecology. I think all of you are totally aware of it, and the need to simplify our lives and come back to basics rather than expansion, and more and more and more. And there's never going to be an end of that. It'll always be more and more that we want. Not that we need, but by wants. So detachment plays a big role within the whole process of spiritual evolution and the journey. The other one, enduring and striving and thriving. Like we were having the conversation earlier about whether work or the giving makes you tired, or whether you're able to be an instrument and do things with a higher consciousness, and then maybe 18 hours of work, but there's joy, there's no tiredness at the end of that. A little bit the same thing in terms of enduring. Same task, but I'm supposed to do it, I have to do it. And to turn that around, well, maybe it's something I can learn from. Maybe it's something I can grow from. And that changes it completely from just enduring to an adventure that's allowing me to move forward. And so that's been the training that I was given. Don't clench your teeth and endure it, but see what the benefit in all of this is, and that'll help you move. And striving, if I look at it from a spiritual perspective, there are things that I haven't yet been able to do, but there's a target that I have, and I would like to get there. I'm not able to do it now, but with more effort and help, I will be able to do it. And so the things that maybe you think are very difficult, 4 o'clock meditation. On the one side, yes, there's the thought. I've heard that people have good experiences early morning, and all the traditions through the ages have spoken about early mornings. But maybe it's at the moment still not in reach. But can I strive for it? Let me experiment with it, maybe one day a week. Maybe Sunday is a good day. Maybe tomorrow Saturday is a good day. And so maybe if I strive for it, and yes, if I have the intention, then maybe it can happen. And so not talking about education or career or anything like that, but on a spiritual journey, striving is also part of the journey, I think, and it can take you further. And maybe when there's a difficult situation with people, personalities and challenges that come with that, especially many personalities. Trying to work with one or two or four is one thing, but when you're trying to work with many, it becomes more challenging. But can I strive for harmony within that? Is it possible that we can draw on another energy and allow that energy to work so that it does move things further in a different way? I'd asked Dadi Prakash Mani very early on, when it was 60 young sisters living together in this ashram in Karachi, and you couldn't go outside because there were wars going on, there was difficulties there. You were all inside all day, and you weren't just meditating, but you were doing all the household chores. Everything had to work around a certain system. And so how did you all manage? Did you all have smooth, harmonious relationships, or was there conflict? And he said, we always had one question: not just what you want, not just what I want, but can we hold a moment in which we ask ourselves the question, what is it that the one above wants? And that allowed us to go beyond our different perspectives and come together so that that harmony was created. And I have to say that one of the most beautiful things that I witnessed, and you saw a little of that in that video with the two dadis at the end, and that was, we didn't talk about the other dadi, but one was on, if you remember the scene, Dadi Prakash Mani on one side and Dadi Jayanti on the other side, and their personalities were really different, really different. But yet, when they would meet each other, when they would talk to each other, and their respect for each other, there was such a beautiful love that we saw that flowed between them. And then when they were separate, they didn't miss each other. But when they were together, there was the magic of pure love. And so they would say that it's what we experienced in those early days, and that has continued till now. And so whatever it is you strive for and achieve, then the results of that are very beautiful. And then the thriving, yes, of course, to go beyond just trying, but being able to reach that state of joy that's undisturbed by anything outside, so that then you truly can be an instrument to share that joy. But that also comes having worked at it. Yes, there are moments of grace that we can experience, but if I want to replicate it, if I want to be able to do it time and again, there's a formula. And can I actually apply that formula? And then, yes, I can move to that state of thriving at all times. So those are the thoughts that come. I was Of course, meditation's usually in silence, but people always say, well, what do you do when you meditate? So this is just an indication of the direction to bring your thoughts in. I reflect on the things I've been hearing about. The concept of the inner being, unattachment, detachment. I focus my thoughts inwards to the awareness of my spiritual identity. I, the soul, here in this body, both working together, soul expressing itself through the body receiving all the information and sharing it with the soul. For a few moments, I let the body be quiet and I explore what's going on in the soul. My thoughts, simply being an observer. The speed of my thoughts slows down. And I select the thought I wish to focus on. The thought of love. In an atmosphere of love, I feel comfortable. It feels natural. It feels safe. And in this awareness of I, the soul, a being of love, I become open and I can sense the presence of the divine. And in this tuning of my mind, God's love is able to reach me. And I welcome this connection. And this sense of connecting with the one who I had been searching for. The Supreme, the ocean of love. And the waves of love surround me. And as I absorb this love, it heals the soul. And God's love removes my worries. God's love heals the pain. God's love strengthens me. And God's love elevates me. God's love opens my heart. And I can let go and forgive. God's love reaches the entire human family. God's love reaches all forms of life. God's love reaches all aspects of nature. God's love purifies. God's love creates the world of truth, the world of love. Om Shanti.